You ready to?
Yeah, I was about to say. I think we're about ready to go.
Awesome.
Cool. So just give me 2 more seconds. Just gonna boot this up real fast. All right, everything should be good. So I'll just start it in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. So Maximo, I'm not sure. A lot of people don't really know about the game's history, but it's basically just if you've played any of the Ghosts and Goblins types of games, it's one of those. Kind of a spin-off of that line of games. Kind of flew under the radar way back in the year 2002 when the game dropped on the PlayStation 2. It's a classic from everyone that remembers it. It's really notorious for the difficulty. That's about it. I mean, the game is, in a speedrun sense, relatively RNG heavy. Not so much in a lot of other games that you might see where you need certain drops at some points or certain enemies stacked certain ways and whatnot, but the way the game works is that each enemy, every 4 kills you get, an enemy will drop like a different item out of a certain pool of items. So between 1 and 3, they'll drop like a bit of money here and there that you could use to buy stuff, but we don't really buy things in the speedrun. It's more of a casual kind of thing. We aim for a lot of certain abilities that the enemies will drop, like one that lets you throw your shield, sometimes the types of sword powers that you'll see later on. So I set up the game so that here I got my 4th kill. I got that bag of money there, which is one of the quote-unquote good drops, so level 1 is kind of a snooze fest. I don't need to go too deep into it. I'll show off a couple mechanics, so you probably have seen the whole time. I've been double jumping everywhere. The double jump is the fastest way to travel in the game, so that's what we go for almost the entire game. It helps time a lot of our jumps better and like space them out, so that's another reason why we use it. Another thing too in this game is that if you fall off an edge, you still maintain both your jumps, so we use that to our advantage as well. As when you fall off a ledge, you'll gain a little bit of speed from it, and if you fall off edges that will usually lead to death, instead our character Maximo will do a whoa sound effect, so we usually call it a whoa jump. So you'll see me go for both of those. Like right there I got just a regular old ledge boost, but you'll see later on we also take full advantage of the whoa jumps, which might seem slower in some situations, but it helps buffer a lot of really difficult jumps that you'll see later on. It's a platforming game, obviously, so plenty of those to come. So here we take a little ledge boost just like that. And the goal in the game too is basically to kill only the enemies that give us drops that we need. Like enemies that drop certain drops no matter what. And not every enemy drops the same thing. Some have programmed drops. Most of those are like regular keys, some golden keys that you need for certain doors as well. So that's one ability that we just got. And at the bottom left, you could see that we could hold 3 maximum. That if we die, we still maintain them, because if you die, you lose any abilities that aren't predicted there. So, hence another level of difficulty associated with the game. There's not too much else to go into with World 1. It's pretty self-explanatory, honestly. Go from the start all the way to the finish, nothing too difficult. There's way more difficult tricks coming later on, so we'll see those when we get there. So here, I'll show off one of the whoa jumps that we go for. It speaks for itself. And so on this stage too, you're going to see the first enemy that I killed that gives us scripted drop. These are the golden keys that we need as well for certain doors. So that golden key is going to unlock this golden gate right here. And I'm going to walk immediately to the left to grab a key from the skeleton that's going to spawn in here with an overhead slash. The overhead does more damage. It's a bit slower in theory, but it kills a lot of enemies in one hits rather than two. And in here, that's why we killed that skeleton. Guaranteed gives us a key. We use it to get that golden one, because we need the golden one to open up this door. Just come over here. We're gonna jump over this guard so that he just doesn't follow us inside here, because if he follows us in here, we're gonna have to kill him. The end of the levels only spawn once all the enemies within the vicinity are dead. We don't have to kill every single one, but if they get too close, then we have to kill them as well. And at the top left of the screen, that shows off how much, we'll say energy that the sword has remaining. So you can see we're a little more than halfway done. We're one more than halfway, as a matter of fact, and once it runs out, we lose it for good, but just a little spoiler, once you beat a boss, you're able to pick between one of three things. You're able to pick a save, pick a kiss from the girls that you save, or pick armor. So, because obviously in typical PlayStation 2 fashion, they can't make saving that easy, you know. You have to get, I want to say 75 coins in the game if you want to save, if you want to put the game down, pick it up another day. Or if you defeat a boss, you could pick the save that way. But when we pick the armor, it gives us full health, it gives us full shield, and it gives us a replenish on our sword as long as we have magic on it. If you have no sword magic, you don't get anything. So we would try to conserve our fire sword as much as possible. Because if all goes well, the final hits to the boss leaves us with exactly one little tick of energy remaining. This is a free ability you get. Useless in the speedrun division, but it lets you pick up coins. Also, this is our first little sequence break. You just jump on that bridge, you activate the little crumbling animation, and instead of going down there, playing through the level, you just come over there to the left. And so that blue ability we just picked up too is very important. That's the shield throw in. Funny enough, I needed it for this fight specifically, so it all works out in the end. We're just gonna go here, take the cool side onto the bridge. And just like that, we're fighting Ghastly Gus, the first boss. Without shield throw, he's a bit of a pain, but with it, it's the easiest fight in the game, hands down. And I'll show you exactly why. Normally, you're supposed to trigger him with kind of a downward aerial attack. If you do your double jump followed by the triangle button, you'll do a kind of a downward attack, or we could just throw the shield, do the downward, and we overhead slash for increased damage against the bosses. And there are some bosses that we can't overhead slash on, so not that that really matters, but there's two bosses that you can't hit with an overhead. So you gotta hit them with some lame strats later on, but... So that's the first boss, that's Gus. And we'll see the one of the ladies we save. She'll show us the three options, and we're gonna pick the armor, obviously. If you pick all the kisses in the game, you unlock a sweet art gallery.
Maximo! Thank the goddess you're alive. Achilles is drilling into the underworld, and you must stop him. Here, this will help you. Choose one of these items. You will need all the help
There we go.
you can get against Achilles' army.
And you'll see at the top left, everything gets replenished.
Now,
Even get a third bar.
the other sorceresses are still in terrible danger. Please help them.
Gotta mash through the cutscenes. Now we're on to world 2 out of 5. 5 worlds, 6 bosses. For a total of 25 total levels. And you'll see sometimes too, like this will say level 7, but the overworld's gonna give us a completely random number too. I don't remember which one it is, but it's not gonna be level 8 technically, but I don't know why they the developers thought that making the overhead area its own level, but that's life. So there, we need to cut down the vines as soon as possible, so the fastest way to do it is the little spin attack that you've been seeing me doing. Just gonna get a little ledge boost off that little mushroom on the tree. Overhead slash, get the golden key instantly, don't have to worry about those two other guys, which is great. And then it's just fancy footwork for the rest of the stage. Up here, because the water's a bit slower to walk in, so we like taking the Assassin's Creed approach, just jumping through walls. We'll grab that. That's the next sword upgrade. And we'll kill all of them. So getting that early yellow sword's actually pretty good, considering the damage increases pretty well. The only stage where we would want the fire sword instead of the yellow one is in the next world. But I'm not going to give too much away yet. We'll see. We'll take more little ledge boosts here. Jump to Den Bones. This stage is pretty notorious in both the speedrunning community and the memories of all the young Maximo fans. I, like most people that grew up playing this game, mainly just watched our parents play it. We were really young, we'd watch our dad play, we'd try to play it, and then usually just get our asses kicked and then make them fight the bosses for us and get through the tougher levels. So here we need to flick that little switch. Oh, I messed up, that's okay. So, in the tar, not able to jump out of it. So now I gotta take a bit of a backup strat. I take a long backup strat. It's totally fine, honestly. If it wasn't a marathon run, that would be a run over, but it's non-damaging. The only thing we get out of this is that mask upgrade at the top. I was trying to get the switch and then also pick up the mask at the same time. It'll replenish your invincibility, and with the mask ability, you get you actually damage people just by running into them. So for an instant kill on non-bosses. Kill the magician. And that. It's way easier when we're not, when we actually have the invincibility. It's a trick that I don't fail often at all, but it's a marathon run. There's a first for everything. Even as the world record holder, I am by no means an expert at this game. So that guy's just gonna ignore you by the way we jumped onto the skull, so don't have to worry about him. Jump over here, and then more vines as usual. But since we have the yellow sword, it makes this section way easier. Didn't mean to spawn that guy, but that's okay. That ability I just picked up, all it literally does is it just makes my sword have a larger hitbox, which is cool. I'll get through all these guys. I'll even pick up the little shield charge, and we're good to go. It's a bit of a rougher level, but even the best players struggle with that one pretty often. This stage is pretty, like, speaking of notorious ones, I'm going to, just in case, I'm going to the mask, and I'll take the extended sword. You're able to swap around which abilities you keep in case you die. I don't plan on it, but in case that does happen, in the event that it does, I'm sort of ready, but we'll try my best. I'd like to make it through a marathon run deathless, that'd be kind of cool. And since we have the yellow sword, we could kill this guy without needing to overhead slash him, which is pretty cool. Grab more invincibility as usual, and here we could actually farm some upgrades that we would have missed along the way. I already have shield throw, so I don't have to worry about that. Some enemies are always scripted to give you a good drop, like the alligator that you saw jump out of the water. I'll try to kill him again. No, just a diamond. Nothing too crazy. And that ability I already have. I'll grab the checkpoint just in case. We never go for them, there's no point. Chances are if you die, the run's over, but this section is a little unforgiving sometimes. So, I wasted no time by taking that checkpoint, so may as well go for it. The pattern of the logs and the shells are always the same too, no matter when you boot up the game, as long as you don't die, the pattern's always going to be the same. So it's always predictable. We know what to expect when we're playing through Quick and the Dead. And then just like that, finish that level too. That one's a pretty rough one sometimes, so I'm glad I got through that one with ease. Buddha Village is the last level of World 2, and then we're on to the next boss. Grab a little hidden chest here. There's plenty of hidden chests in every level. They always give the same drops too, so more free invincibility. And then we can just use the invincibility to phase through the vines rather than wasting our time spinning on them. That's the main reason we pick up the invincibility. Don't need that ability, it doesn't do a whole lot. Pretty sure it's a treasure finder, that's all it does. And since we know where all the drops are that we need, we don't need the treasure finder. Go through this one too, and just when you thought it was over, there's one more. And we get through that one too. And also, if you couldn't get enough of the invincibility, just check this out. You guys might like this. It's like Jim Carrey in The Mask, you know? It's the Mask of Sorrow. It changes how he looks. Great movie. Been getting a shield throw a lot, which is pretty good, because many runs we could go the entire time without seeing it a single time, considering it's a drop that you could get in World 1. Not all the drops are able to be dropped in every single world. Each one you go to, you unlock more and more, which makes sense. The harder the levels get, the better the drops should be. So shield throw is, it's there since day one. It's like a good friend, you know? This boss could be a real pain, though. Of all the bosses, it's one of the most inconsistent. Out of the 6, it's probably number 1, I would say. So the best strategy for this one too is stand still. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we can start jumping. Through a process of mitosis, he splits into 3. We overhead slash U, and we look at all the damage we did. Shoot through his little minions. You kill them all, you skip straight to the next phase, so that's the main reason why we try to get him. And if I'm really lucky, I could hit all of the clones with one foul swoop. I didn't, but that's okay. And this is what I mean by inconsistent. At this point, I don't know where he is. There he is. Could have been way worse, but it could have been better. You're able to hit all 5 in one swoop, depending on where you managed to get him to run to. I had him a bit too far into the middle. If you have him along the edges, there's way less room for him to spread. So, it is what it is.
King Maximo, thanks for killing that little toad. However, it's not over yet. This magic should help you out.
And now for World 2,
Take one of these items.
I don't need to keep the yellow sword for World 3, so if I really wanted to, I could take the kiss.
You must free them.
We'll pass though.
You better get going.
Keep the stream PG for now. And the reason we don't really care about the pure blade, I'll call it pure blade, it's just easier for me. That's what the sword's called, the yellow one, is because much like in other video games, real life, Pokemon, you know, what tends to beat ice? I'll give you guys a minute. Don't worry. We got plenty of time. We still got like 30 minutes to go. 30-ish. If you were guessing fire, I got some bad news for you. No, just kidding. Pick up the fire sword. The fire sword does increase damage to a lot of the enemies that are ice themed. Makes a lot of sense. It allows us to just regularly hit a lot of the enemies. There's like a zombie that's encased in ice. You could only hit him with the overhead attack. But if you have the fire sword, you could just slash him regularly and it'll just instantly kill him. And we're just so lucky enough to have a free fire sword at the beginning of that stage there. It's the only one we're going to see for the rest of the world. Unless we're lucky and someone else drops it, but we don't have to worry. We have plenty for the boss on this stage. Yet again, invincibility. The usual. We spend a good portion of the run in invincibility stage. Kill the guy just for fun. That was our 4th kill. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna jump away in case they drop the ice sword. If we ever see the ice sword, we panic. We don't want the ice sword. Ice sword is the worst in the game, obviously. I mean, obviously from my point of view. To kill an enemy with it, you hit them once, they freeze into a block of ice. They're rendered completely immobile, which is cool when you think about it, but really it's a huge time waste. You freeze them once, then you have to overhead slash them the second time to kill them. The stage 2's it's alright. It used to be a bit of a pain. We figured out some strategies to help out with making it easier. I wouldn't call this stage a sequence break necessarily, because what we're doing isn't really unintentional, like the first little bridge skip we did in World 1 at the final level. But you'll see there's a giant spinning ship, and the way the game wants you to do it is to get on the first set of get on the ship and wait. It's gonna circle around. You're gonna go get a golden key. You're gonna get back on the ship. You're gonna wait some more, and then you're gonna be able to go into the room that has the golden fence. Or an even cooler way is to just skip the boat. So this is the boat. You can see it's spinning as well. I wasn't gaslighting about that either. We need invincibility here to kill second pirate skeleton, or the red key. We'll just come up front here because it perfectly lines up with here. That's where the golden key is. Trigger those guys to hit me, but they'll miss. This is the tricky part though, so we'll woe jump, and we'll do it one more time. Rather than jumping on the boat, we just skip it. And that's basically the whole level, honestly. Now we're on to the final bit. If I had one of the abilities that I don't currently have, then this section would be a little bit quicker, but... Oh, there it is. Never mind. That doesn't happen too often. And I get to show it off right here. It's just that easy. So that ability is called Doom Strike. It's one of the 3 key abilities that we basically need for a decent pace run. So we need the shield throw, which is the one where we throw a shield. The Doom Strike, the one that we just picked up, that kind of skull looking thing. You can see at the top left now there's a skull on the little sword icon. And the third one is Magic Bolt, the one that lets you shoot out of the sword, which you saw me do against one of those Yetis, so. Need all those abilities. Each sword does something new with each one. Doom Strike was that little flare spinning thing that we did. You only see the flare one. Sometimes you'll see the pure blade one, but less often. But most importantly is the final one. Like the final sword upgrade we get. That one with Doom Strike. Very solid combo. Like peanut butter and jelly, one might say. So this level 2, all the icebergs, the flows, as we'll call them, FLOE, that's the name of the stage, go with the flow. They're always on the same cycle, depending on how fast you are, so. Another fairly straightforward stage, we don't have to worry too much. I'll just ignore everything as usual. Those ones sink if you stand on them for too long. I'll just hop on over here as well. We'll skip this little area with this jump right here. Saves you like barely a second. It looks cooler than anything. And ice is slippery, so we'll just keep jumping on it. Overhead slash. Ignore that, we don't need it. And that guy. Poorly timed, but whatever. We're just breezing through it right now. This is great. So now we're on to the final stage as well of World 3. This one, it's a real doozy for the newcomers to the speedrunning scene. And if you guys like this game, please do a run just for fun. See how far you can make it, how fast you could do it, how few deaths you could do it. The community is great. The guys are awesome. We're always helping each other out. I only started running this game barely a year ago, and then after 1 month of just sitting down, talking with people, figuring out strategies, I broke the world record that was set for a whopping 8 years by a Mr. AM, Die You Evil Jiroga. He was on ESA's marathon forever ago as well, at the same time that the record was broken. Oh, the record was set, rather. And we've been just lowering the record more and more since then. I've lowered it by almost a minute, and now it was 54:41. Now we're sitting at 52:27. We've lowered the record by quite a bit. It's a lot of fun. So, also part of that chat there was just to help get my nerves collected, because that section with that bridge where we load jump off is a little stressful. We used to take that without a whoa, and that spot is very inconsistent, so your reaction timing has to be really on point, and most of the time it isn't, so. And yet again, obviously, so has been for the last little bit of the stage, just invincibility, run through everyone. Already had that, but let's grab it again. And cool. Shield throw makes this boss way easier as well, you'll see. This is my favorite boss in the game personally, on an aesthetic and personal level. Personality-wise, aesthetically-wise, you know. I think you guys will very quickly see why. He tends to be the fan favorite. Like, how could you not love that, right? It's got that boss music. He looks awesome. He sounds like Hachi the Pirate. How could you not love him? And we just keep bullying him into the sewer grates, so if you get too far, he'll start shooting us with like an ice gun. Not quite a coconut gun like another ape-like creature, but an ice gun. If he hits you with it, you stay frozen in a block of ice, and you can't do anything until he comes over and hits you. And you see how slow he wobbles towards you, so we don't want that to happen. And here too, if you wanted, you could take the kiss. Doesn't matter. We immediately get rid of the fire sword on the stage, but it'll be nice to get some shield energy back. You just never want to pick the save. That one is actually, it'll slow you down. But the kiss, it saves you having to move over to pick up the armor, so it's technically faster, but you don't need to worry about it. So we're on to world 4 out of 5 now. This one is the nightmare fuel, not because of the content, like on a visual side, but rather the torture that it puts you through. Pitfall after pitfall. It's just every child remembers misery with this world, and very understandably so. The first 3, not too bad. You look at this one and you'll see. I hopefully won't have any issues with it. There's one ability that I would have loved to have picked up. It's kind of like, it's an anvil. It just gives you an extra bar of health. So having that is always fantastic. It gives you much more cushion for the push-in. So I'm not going to take too much damage. I can just damage boost through everything, but I don't want to lose too much health. We don't need, like, we don't use invincibility at any point, funny enough, unlike World 3. But it's nice to have just enough health. Let's wait for these guys to spawn. Now you get to see Magic Bolt with Armageddon, the purple sword now. Do it twice, and then we'll just hop over here and we'll do one more. And just that easy. It's great, and then you're gonna see me with Doomstrike with Armageddon on the stage too. This is a very important reason why we need Doomstrike. Just hop right off the edge cleanly. Activate one of these switches yet again. Turn a camera around. The camera is very finicky in this game. It's a fixed camera that you can only change if you click L1, but only if you're at a complete standstill. So that's me tapping L1. And if you move, you instantly cancel the camera movement. At a certain point, you just kind of get used to it, but it really it can mess you up sometimes. After a while, you just know how the game plays. You know where to jump. You know what to do. So we'll low jump here. I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna grab this checkpoint just in case, because if I do die, it's a large waste of Armageddon that I can't afford to lose all of it on this stage. Jump over. Yeah, so that's a good thing I took that checkpoint, because... And I'll actually get rid of... Yeah. Cool, it's all good. Honestly, no worries. Small time loss. I took the checkpoint, we're all good. That spot I've never died at before, and this is the second time in 2 days that that exact way killed me. It's all good. That's the main reason I took that checkpoint. It's a little hard to see how steep that drop is, and when the enemies hit you in midair, it sends you flying, which is 9 times out of 10 a bad time, but there's gonna be that 1 time out of 10 that we're gonna... Hopefully we'll land it on our first try, because it's exciting. I'm not gonna give away too much more than that, but everyone who runs the game seriously within the last couple of months knows exactly what I'm talking about. Just jump through those guys. I'll wait here. The coffins in this stage do damage to you. I'll even grab the armor. It's a bit of a slowdown, but it's insurance, it's extra insurance that we need. So it's good that we didn't, if we spawned that yellow loincloth skeleton there, that would have been really bad, but it would help to end stage 2 though. The 1 death, not too bad, not the end of the world. Could have died in a much worse area, to be honest.
I do want to mention that our next run coming up is going to be the Super Mario Odyssey run, and time is closing fast to hit that $70 incentive for the unlocking the boxers. So if you want to see them unlock the boxers in the Super Mario Odyssey run, make sure you head over to the Matcherino site and put your donation in there.
Good incentive. Seeing Mario in his boxers. I can't be the only one who wants to
Great.
see that, honestly.
Everybody wants to see it.
If he takes his shirt off too, maybe I think that would a little too enticing for the stream. I think maybe you know?
It might be too hot, right? It might just be a little too much.
A little too hot to handle. All that Mario talk got us a little second death, but not the end of the world yet either as well. We're not losing any of the important abilities. This section is, it looks really easy. It's not. The hitboxes on those fiery coffins are really bad. We'll just keep plowing through, honestly. It's, I've said it 9 times now that it's no big deal. It honestly isn't. It's a super chill game. When it works, it works. It has its frustrating moments, of course, but oh man. Playing through it casually, like on a speedrunner level, just in general, playing this game is, I'm lucky to have been one of the few that grew up playing this game. And there's nothing cooler than telling your father that you got world record in like your 2 childhood favorite game, you know? It's an awesome feeling. It's cool when they could relate with you instead of just telling your parents that you just got an achievement in game. They're like, oh yeah, it's special.
Yeah, that is
you know?
pretty awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Yep.
And here we could just damage boost as long as we're in the air. We take damage, nothing bad happens. If we're standing on the ground, it knocks us all over the place. It sends us backwards. I'm gonna stop damage boosting. Oh. Too scared of taking too much damage. We need a certain amount of health for the boss fight, because it's the total opposite. We're not invincibilitying everywhere. We're damage boosting through everything with no help, no nothing, just pure. Whatever. Annoying. It's okay. Man, if we take enough damage too, we get to see Mr. Maximo and his boxers. In typical Ghosts and Goblins fashion, take too much damage, you get to see the underwear. It's pretty cool. I don't think we've seen it yet this run. So here too, we're gonna just grab the key here. If you didn't have Doom Trick, it's free over there on the left side. You could just grab it, but otherwise we have it already. We'll just keep chugging on forward. So these bomb guys that spawn are very annoying. I'm gonna spawn far here so that the bomb misses me. The bomb has a large blast radius and it sends you flying back, so we don't want that. We'll take this little gear here. This is a really tricky, a really hard trick for the new runners. And still not even guaranteed for people that have been playing this game for a while. Or running, rather. But the whole level is just, it's all cycle based, so it doesn't really matter how fast you play this early section, as long as you land on that first little spinning axe like I did. These, the flails are always on the same pattern, doesn't matter. I could take a checkpoint here because the cycle on the part coming up isn't affected by how fast I go. It looks like I just missed it. I didn't. No matter how fast I was going, we can't hit it. So I could very freely take that that checkpoint, which is great, because the section coming up is another less than easy one, so. Just jump through the axes, hold our shield out for this guy, nothing happens. And so you might have seen before, if you hold R1, you could actually get a closer glimpse of what's happening. So I'll wait for it to go about halfway down, and that's when I'll jump on. I'll jump onto the first little cog here, instantly turn around the camera. We're gonna jump on this squishy brain. We'll just yeet ourselves over here, crouch hit. Oh, I missed that, that's okay. That's fine, I hope. I think I'll have enough Armageddon for the boss fight coming up. I have more than enough health because we need to damage boost a whole lot. So now we're fighting the thickest one of all, Lord Glutterscum. All you have to do is just run behind him, hit him from behind. Typical stuff, rinse and repeat. He's gonna shoot little rockets at us. We're just gonna damage boost right through it. And just keep running in circles. If you don't get hit by them, he shoots a lot of them, so it's way faster to just take the hit. So if you see the amount of health I'm at now, the 1 bar and 1 tick, that's exactly how much health you need. So I had a little insurance. We were good. And now we get to see the famous Maximo boxers on top of it. It's a bit of a win-win.
Yeah, I didn't even have to hit any incentives for that.
No, not even. Don't need any $70 for that. I'll do it for free. So if anyone wants to see it in a much more popular, better, more well-rounded video game, I suggest hitting that $70 goal. Odyssey is a fantastic game.
Odyssey is a great game. This game looks like it's a lot of fun though as well.
It has its moments, yeah. Honestly, like it's great. Everyone who grew up playing it has an extra special spot in their heart with it. I recommend it highly. If you have a PS3 even, you could download it for, I want to say less than $10. I could be wrong, like 10 USD. I'm in Canada, so the conversion rates are all messed up. It's probably like $130 for me because that's about how much it is in USD. I exaggerate, of course, but...
Maximo, take one last peek before we return to the mortal realm. You now have everything you need. The Sorceress's Council cannot...
So that's it. I had exactly enough Armageddon to get the full replenish. I was at full health, full shield, full everything. So on this stage now, remember I was saying that 1 time out of 10, this is where it's going to come into play. We're going to need to take a really, not even difficult, but a bit of a challenging damage boost. Hard to set up initially. We figured out a bit of a kind of a buffer strategy. I'll show it off later on. It's gonna be the 1 time you see invincibility, so everyone get your goodbyes in. So we pick up that gold key too. We just Hail Mary clean off the edge to pick it up. We don't have to worry too much because of the invincibility, and you don't even need it, to be honest. It makes things a little bit easier, but it's by no means an important pickup necessarily. It's along the way, so you may as well grab it. So we're gonna kill this magician too. If he hits you, you turn into an old man or a baby. I just got hit and nothing happened because he was dead before I got hit, which is fine. We're gonna take a bit of a tricky skip here. We just dodge that guy. If we're too close to him, then we oop, I'm gonna grab the potion there. If we're too close, we just get pushed way back. Nothing happens. You just get spiked. You get meteored, man. It's brutal. Lost a couple good runs because of that, but that's another strat that practice, practice, practice. It helps run games in emulator too with save states, so. Just a bit off topic. I've had chat open this whole time. I didn't want to say too much, just I don't know how faux pas it is to talk to the guys in chat, but shout outs to all my Canadian folk. I think the last runner was from Quebec, I'm almost positive. He had a very, he had a French accent. That's where I am right now. I'm a Montreal inhabitant, so it's cool seeing some diversity. I didn't know we had a world record holder here besides me in such a niche title. So here we're gonna get a little, it's cool. Oh, actually, real fast. Ooh. So now this is the trick. That's why we took that checkpoint before. We're gonna get these two guys to spawn. Gonna jump over, trigger them both to hit, take a whoa and another, and he yeets us off, and we just phase through. That's the coolest trick in the game. We landed it first try, which is That's good enough for me, honestly. No matter how the rest of the run pans out, that's the trick that really, sets it. Bridge skip was only found a couple months ago. It wasn't, it's a really new trick. It was found about a week after I broke the world record, so. The moment I broke it, we found out a skip that saves you roughly a minute, and you could see we keep the golden key. Under no circumstances are you ever gonna be able to do that, so it's cool. You get to completely skip an area that involves picking up a golden key. They don't stack, unfortunately, because the game devs didn't intend on it happening naturally. Instantly magic bolt to kill that guy. Gives us a sword charge, we don't need it. That sword charge gives us 5 extra ticks. We're gonna need plenty of them on the coming stage, because the most RNG heavy part of the run is coming up. Not for this stage. The stage is very set in stone. It's very cycle based. I'm not gonna damage boost through just because I want to conserve some HP just in case. But for the final 2 bosses, we need to have a certain amount of Armageddon left on our sword, and if we don't have enough, then if you were planning on getting world record, unfortunately, the game had a different idea. Ooh, that's huge, actually, I'll take that. So on this stage, we end up picking up a free one, so we don't have to worry too much. But the coming stage, there isn't a free one that's fast, unfortunately. And the main reason we've been hoarding the keys is for Castle Maximo World 5, because there is a lot of sections that require us to open keys, and rather than going around doing the mazes, all the levels in here are kind of puzzle-like. It doesn't look like it because I've just been blazing through them, but the game intended for you to like really be searching around not knowing what to do. But when you hoard 9 keys, which is the max, when you hoard 9 keys from other stages, then there's no point really. It's great. Do a little jump there. There's an extra potion there, but one of the guards dropped it, so I don't need it. So this, oh, I could get through it. There's a kind of a corn maze here too. Very annoying to figure out if you haven't played the game before. If you practice it enough times, you'll just know the pattern. Pattern doesn't change, thankfully. It's the same thing every single time. Get that. Now here we get to see Doomstrike yet again. Didn't kill all of them, only missed 2, that's totally fine. Now we're on to the last stage in the game. This one's a doozy, honestly. So no matter how good your run is going, basically up until this point, if you don't have enough Armageddon for the 2 bosses coming up, then your hopes and dreams are gone. 50 minutes down the drain completely. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. This is, it's never fun. How can I put it into perspective? It'd be like if in Mario 64, you just did a 1 in 20 star run. You're going to Bowser, but there's a 75% chance that you just fall clean off an edge no matter what happens. That's basically it. We don't know the exact odds of what getting the Armageddon is, but... Also here, we don't need to go get that golden... the golden key on the other side. You gotta open up a bunch of doors and stuff. We just open up this door with the golden key. Fantastic. Saves us a lot of time. That's why that bridge skip, it's a 2-in-1 trick, to be honest. It's great. And we're gonna be seeing a lot of golden keys on this level too. And this one is also cycle based, you'll see why, but as long as we play basically perfect. I messed up a little bit at the beginning, no worries. I could tell how the cycle's going based on that guy. So go in here. We'll do a wave attack to kill the wizard, because if he gets us, it's like a 15-second time loss. When you turn into the baby or the old man, it's a huge time loss because you gotta wait for it to just slowly wear off, and he could do damage to you the whole time. Those guys die in one hit with the magic bolt, thankfully. If not, they take a really long time to kill, so. Little trivia for you. Just blaze through here, break through the little breakable walls. Pick up another golden key, of course. The invincibility on World 3 is the equivalent of the gold keys in World 5. Especially this level. We'll just take the far left side. If we take the right side, we trigger a couple enemies we don't want. Also that that guy, that little green dude, who jumps on your legs, and it's no fun. Just like this, I'm a bit terrified. I'm gonna kill him because I've been losing a lot of runs. That ability he dropped is the worst in the game, so I'm very glad it came now and not later, because I didn't pick it up. It changes you overhead slash to a forward kind of stab. It completely changes how to play the game, to be honest, and it's no good. It changes the final boss fight more than anything. I'll take a checkpoint, just in case. What did we get? I'll take a potion. So you can see we only have 3 ticks left. The odds that we get Armageddon is dwindling, unfortunately, but anything could happen. There's one section coming up where, if everything goes right, we'll be able to get it. Oop. Now I should have gotten the really good cycle here. I played really well. Yeah, we did. Take a sketchy jump, but it's all good. We got the fastest coffin cycle, which is great. No deaths either, even greater. Those guys hit you, you stumble to the ground, you start freaking out. It's annoying. Terrified, so I'll go back. I'm not going to kill him just yet. I will need to because he follows me, but if they drop a sword charge here, then it's even better. Hopefully he doesn't follow me up. No Armageddon yet. I want to say it could still drop, but... Okay. 1 second. I'm gonna pick up that key too before I forget. So yeah, if this was a world record run, or a world record... Oh, never mind. Ignore me. We got it. These guys troll like mental. Wow, alright, so... Ignore what I've been saying up until this point. We got our Armageddon. Holy. So that's cool. I'm very happy. I've only had one other marathon run and it went miserably compared to this. This is fantastic. And just for the record, world record would have been done at this point. It's a 52:27. We're at 52:45, 47, yeah. Still a fantastic run, all things considered. We'll just hit that guy with a wave. And now we're at the final 2 boss fights, and like all the hard parts done. This is basically run over. We don't have Mighty Blow to worry about, so we're good. Just like all the other bosses. Oh, hit him with an overhead slash. And we hit him with one more. If I could do this fast enough, then phase 2 just gets completely skipped too. That's why we went on Armageddon as well. The damage output is ridiculous. Oh, that should have been fast enough. I overhead slash him here. Oh, it was just slightly too slow, which is fine. So he only does this, whoa, this phase twice. There we go. Decent Achilles. I'm a bit far away from him now, though. Awesome, we got plenty for the next fight too, so that isn't run over. We still got one more to go. One more fight. skip the last cutscene. And this fight is pretty great. We just go to the right, do some double jumps as always. And we overhead slash, and we don't move. We just stand perfectly still. There we go. 55-15. Not bad. That's game. You're able to hit her with a little wave attack there at the end. The first one missed, tends to. The second one got her. Fantastic.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
Run. Thank you for that.
Oh, thanks for having me. This is fantastic. Honestly, it was good luck all around. The 2 deaths we had were very well timed, like well placed. We didn't have to worry too much about losing anything, so that's about it.
You saved the day and won back both our kingdoms. What's the matter, buddy?
Well, get your GGs in chat for that run.
Oh, man.
Thank you again for Patthiccness for putting that run on for us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
That was a lot of fun.
It was great being here. It was great talking with you guys, getting the name of Maximo out there, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks, man. Guys, hit the $70 for the Mario Odyssey run as well, if it's still not too late. Good luck to the Mario Odyssey runner as well, coming up. So, all purple coins is quite a fun category.
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah.
And we put your Twitch or your Twitch channel in the chat.
Fantastic. Yep.
Any other plugs you have before you'd like to?
Oh, I mean, if you're only on Twitch, you'll see me stream there. It's usually where I go for more world record attempts. If you don't watch Twitch too often, if you just want to see the world records themselves, I have a YouTube. If you just take out the Ness at the end of Patthiccness, you'll find me there. Even if you type in Patthiccness on YouTube, I'll come up. So that's about it. I don't really have any more plugs. Check out Dadun. He's great. He's in chat. He's been running the game. He broke my emulator world record a couple days ago. Fantastic guy. Really nice guy. A great runner. Spike, he's fantastic. He got me to where I am today, and that's about it.
Well, thanks again so much for doing this run, and good luck in your future runs as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to be moving on to Super Mario Odyssey coming up here next. We have the Ancient Angel going to be taking over for hosting. I've been Fear Agent. I hope you've all enjoyed these last few runs as the marathon continues. Thanks again to all our runners and Speed Gaming for putting on this event, and we'll see you here soon as Super Mario Odyssey is coming up next.